Hey, man.
They call them the cans, right? Is that what you call your headphones?
I call them piece of shit. That's okay.
Well, either way, how's your day going there? Am I getting you from Woodstock?
Yeah, you are getting me from Woodstock. I don't know. I don't know how my day is going.
How
are you?
A lot of people will give that answer. I'll give you that one too. But nonetheless, it's a pleasure to connect. I've been listening to your work for a long, long time. But when did you first get to Woodstock? That part I wasn't able to figure out in the equation, because it seems to me like you were in Woodstock before all the singer-songwriters started moving there, aside from making albums at Bearsville.
Let me see. When did I first move here to live here, or when did I first see this place?
Move there to live there.
Well, in 1983, I made this record with Todd Rundgren.
Yeah.
That was the first time I was ever in Woodstock. All right, so I came here, and that was great, and then I decided I was going to try to move here, so I looked for a place, and then I found a place. So I guess 83, 84.
Wow, so not too far after that, because I know Rachel Yamagata's there and Tracy Bonham's there a lot of times. There's the Levon Helm Barn thing happening, Gail Ann Dorsey, but it seems to me like you got there first and stayed there first.
Well, I don't know. I really don't know. There were a lot of people living here when I moved here. More people, I think, living there then than now.
Oh, really?
I believe so, yeah. I think so.
Interesting. So was Slower entirely made in Woodstock?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And when did you finish the album? I wasn't able to tell if it's a circa COVID album or if it was finished by before COVID and you sat on it for a bit.
Yes, it was finished right before COVID. Yeah.
And it is, of course, a departure from the previous album because you always evolve. But I love a quote that was in the press release for the album. It said that you had no worries about radio airplay, stream sales, or even being cool. How long have you been this kind of carefree, march to your own beat guy? Because you did have to play the major label system, I know, at least through the end of the 80s.
Yeah, well, I did, but now it seems like there's no reason not to be like this. I mean, then there were people at my record label who were going, Jules, do this, and this will be very important if you do this. That's how I actually got to work with Todd Rundgren, was because I had a guy at my record label saying, this would be a perfect thing for you to do. You've got to do this. So I just did it, But I don't have that. It's not a feeling that I have anymore.
Well, this is intended to be a compliment. Most people of your ilk, when it says, hey, they've co-written songs or had songs recorded by blank, blank, and blank, and they were hits that charted, it was usually the product of lobbying. In your case, you made the song, someone heard it and went, I want to cover that. So you kind of became an accidental co-writer, an accidental covered kind of person, which is extremely rare. But after that happened, did you have people that were trying to go, hey, we need to get Jules in the room?
Yeah, there were people who tried to do that. But that wasn't really a very good idea. It seemed like to them that was a good idea, but I didn't think it was. But I tried it a few times, get Jules in a room with these people and see what happens. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Writing songs is a little difficult, but if you're sitting there with a guitar and you're having these conversations inwardly rather than me explaining to you, okay, I'd like to do this because this will mean this and that'll mean that. I'm not good at that stuff. So I'm much better off writing by myself.
And so some of the songs that you've written that other people have done after that, like late 1980s, like, hey, Jules is the guy kind of period, were any of them, you wrote it, you gave it to them, and then they tweaked it and you weren't in the room?
Well, any of them? What do you mean? Which people are you talking about?
Okay, there was a great song you did that Matthew Sweet recorded. At that point, was that I'm going to write it, you finish it kind of scenario, or were you in the room with him?
I don't think I was in the room with Matthew. I think I don't remember how that song came to be even, but we were friends, so I think I might have given him something, and yeah, he worked on it himself. Yeah, I don't really think it was really too much of a. There wasn't too much time spent with the both of us trying to go, do you think it should be him or her, or anything like that. That wasn't happening.
Well, I super appreciate all that honesty there. And Slower, you put out the single a month before the album release, which is kind of traditional fare. Did you know when you had that song, like, hey, this is the single, or is that management going, Jules, just put this out?
The latter. Yeah, yeah. Jules, we don't know what the hell it is, but do this, please, Jules. And so we just, I did as they asked. I'm fine with it. That's fine. I don't really want to think about what would be the single or what would be how do we do this, or I'll let them worry about that stuff.
So some artists, when I talk about their new album, they go, I love it, it's the best thing I've ever done. And then other people go, it's good, but when I tour on it for the next year and a half, the songs are going to evolve, and I hear mistakes and all that. Which one are you closer to?
Well, I'm not going on any road right now.
Right.
You know that. So, yeah. I don't know. I just these just a bunch of songs that I wrote during a certain period of time, and so I just recorded them. I don't really know whether they belong to any certain thing, or they were just I just wrote them. I'm sorry, that's not much of an answer, is it?
No, it says a lot to me. I was watching an interview or an appearance last night with Eddie Van Halen, where he had surprised Jason Becker. I don't know if these people are on your radar at all, or you kind of went, I was never a Van Halen guy. But it was a really touching thing where people were talking to Eddie Van Halen. This is the mid-'90s. And they were asking about writing songs, and he goes, I don't know. It just comes to me, and they say do this, and I play it. And anyone else who tells you otherwise is lying. I get that kind of vibe from you, that the energy comes into you, you play it, and you don't necessarily know where it came from.
That's very good. Thank you. I'm glad. Yeah, that is me. That's right. I don't know, but I just do it.
And one of the ways I really became familiar with you is from a singer-songwriter named Mike Viola. I'm not sure if he's somebody you've run into over the years.
Yeah, it seems to me I have.
He had a band called the Candy Butchers that was on Sony, and he's worked with a lot of the Woodstock artists I mentioned. But he had a song that I think he just played for fans once or twice, called I Saw Jules Shear in the Forest or something like that. Did that ever hit your radar?
No, I've never heard that.
I'll see if I can dig that one up for you.
What was he looking at me in the forest for? What?
I don't know. I don't have that answer. I just know that you're in this interesting position where you inspired a lot of people to kind of just follow the beat of their own drum in a way. Kind of harkening back to what I was saying, where you played the game for a little bit and then you realize, I don't need to play this game anymore. And I think that's a very refreshing thought. So you got a great new record like Slower, where this is a guy who just sounds like what he wants to sound like. But I'm curious if you threw away songs for this album. Is it pared down from 20 songs?
No, it ordinarily would be. I would ordinarily want to pare it down. But actually with this one, I pretty much had these songs. I just wrote these songs and then said the Lee Danziger who produced it with me, I said, let's do these and see what they come out like. If it doesn't come out good, I'll write some more, don't worry, you know? And he said, okay, let's try that. So, so we did. And one of them I didn't really like, but the rest of them, I really liked the way they turned out. So I went, okay, that's fine. I didn't have to write anymore for it. Is that what you were asking me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm curious about that because sometimes you hear people say, well, I wrote 40 songs from this new album and I pared it down to the best 12. And
yeah.
I didn't know if somebody like you who goes, well, this is who I am, this is what I do, here's your album, here's the 12. I didn't know if that was more your approach.
No, that can be my approach, but yeah, usually I guess I write like twice as many songs as I use on an album. So if I write about 20 songs, I can usually get an album out of that. But this last one, I didn't. I just wrote these songs and did them. You know, that was unusual.
And you said, yeah, you won't be on the road for a year and a half touring the record. You know, common sense there. But Todd Rundgren, who came up before, just announced a 25-city virtual tour where I think they're camped out in Chicago, the same theater for a month. And they're pretending like, hello, New York. And then there's a backdrop of the Empire State Building or something like that. But in your case, what is life like at the moment? You got a great album. It's, you know, it's out. What's going on by you? Are you allowed to say?
No, I'm not allowed to say. Yeah, well, actually, all that's going on is, well, I'm listening to a lot of music,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm making compilations of this music, and so I end up with a whole lot of these CDs, which have about, I don't know, 20 some songs on each one. And I don't really, they're not held together by anything other than the fact that I like the music on them. And so I just have a whole bunch of these CDs, which I listen to all the time. And this is what I'm doing right now. I'm waiting for this thing to be over, I suppose.
Have you been working on like weird archiving or home cleaning projects?
Oh, what would that be? What does that mean? What?
Okay, I'll give you an example. I
Yes,
started
please.
doing interviews when I was a teenager and I was terrible. And I found all the old cassettes of that and I started digitizing them. And the ones that don't make me want to throw up that much, I've been putting them out. So, you know, that's better than just a drawer full of mini cassettes. Do you have anything like that for you that you're like, oh, well, I have all these photos from this tour in '88. Let's digitize them and then throw them out.
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't been doing that. I've been strictly doing it with other people's music, just finding stuff that I like. And then sometimes I wonder, why did you like these 20 songs and you hated all that other stuff? I don't know why. And I can't understand why it is that I like certain stuff and don't like other stuff, but I do. And so there is this music that's there. I don't know. It seems like recently most of it is older music, from like the 60s or the 50s or even the 40s. You know, I don't know why I've gotten to like this stuff more, but I do.
Right. I'm finding myself, while there are artists and albums that I do like of present day, such as yours, Slower, you know, one more cheap plug right there. I'm finding myself gravitating towards a lot of stuff in the 70s and 80s going, I could never get tired of, say, Cheap Trick.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and why wouldn't you find stuff today that you really liked? Why would that be?
Well, I am finding some good stuff. I find that Spotify's release radar, which is based on stuff that you like, them creating new playlists, it's good like 60% of the time. When I say it's bad a lot of the time, let's say you love the band Travis. There's some R&B singer named Travis, and it thinks that that's the new Travis single, and you go, or the singer-songwriter Blue, who I'm guessing you know of, BLEU. He used to be on Columbia. I've gotten like 10 different artists named Blue that's not that Blue.
Oh, yeah.
But per se, I think that there's great music still coming out today. It's harder to find it. There's not that great filter. There's not MTV 120 minutes, you know?
Yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's probably correct.
So in your case, like, how do I find out about your album? Well, as a writer, I get the press release. Then I go, oh, well, it's time to let everybody know that Jules has a great new record. But I would guess in your case that something like SiriusXM, that one of the channels picks up on you. How are you finding that people find out about you usually?
I have no idea how they find out. I really don't know. I don't know why they would want to. Why you know, I don't know. I guess why they'd want to is the same reason I want to when I go out and put these things together. Just music. I just want music, and I don't know what the whole reason is for. I don't know any other reason.
What I'm getting is that's management's job.
Oh, okay, good. I'll pick that up with them. Thank you.
Well, I got two more quick questions for you, and then you're a free man. And
woo!
The first one is, what is Jules Shear watching on television these days?
Okay. Jules Shear does not have a television.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've obviously got a computer here.
Yeah.
But television, no, I don't have one. I don't watch it, listen to it, anything. But I do use this computer quite a bit. I don't know. Does that help? I don't know.
That helps. Well, the key is you're still listening to music and you're discovering good old music.
That's true.
So
yeah, I am.
And then my closer for you is, any last words for the kids?
For the kids?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, what could it be for the kids? I don't know. I don't know what's happening out there. I don't know. I don't know what the music is now. I don't know what. Yeah, you're asking the wrong person, I'm afraid.
Well, let me tell you why I'm not asking the wrong person. If I were one of those weird kids in high school, which I might have been, who was like, I want to work in the entertainment business. I want to have a career around the performing arts.
Yeah.
And then I see Jules Shear and I go, wait, that guy has been earning his living, or at least most of his living, related to performing.
Yeah, how's he doing that? How does that guy? Yeah, I understand.
Well, he did it. So, I mean, you have to look at that as a successful person, a person that goes, I'm going to express myself and create stuff out of thin air for a living.
That's true. Okay, yeah. So, go ahead.
So, do you have any advice on what a person who's trying to think, hey, how can I do what that guy is doing or something similar, how they actually can start doing that?
Ooh. Well, you're talking about somebody writing songs, right?
Presumably writing songs and not being the cover band person.
Yeah. Well, that's always going to be more difficult, right?
Right.
Yeah. I just write them. You just gotta sit down and write what you feel like writing. And if you write what you feel like writing, and that's all you do, that's really good. I mean, I think that's really perfect. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think writing, just doing what you want to do, that's it. I don't know. I don't know any other way of doing it. This is really just the way I've just done it, you know. And I wasn't doing it thinking, oh, one day I'm going to tell people how to do this, you know. No, I wasn't doing that.
Well said. I mean, that all harkens back to the first thing we were talking about to begin with. So thank you so much for your time. And when things get normalish again, hope to see you live down here in New York, and in downstate New York, as you guys call it, upstate.
Yes, right. That's correct. Okay. Thanks a lot for doing this.
Thanks, Jules. Have a great rest of the day.
Okay, great. Bye.
Take care.
Paltrocast.